Hi everyone, I'm here with Cornelius, one of the designers of Uprising Curse of the Last Emperor. He's going to show off the new expansion that they've been working on, which is Uprising Rise of the Old Gods. It'll be coming to GameFound here in the near future. Hey Cornelius, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we're going to be doing an expansion to our baby Uprising. We spent 4 years designing it, me, Pavel, and Dirk. We just finished delivering it, and now we're ready to show you all the other cool ideas we had here and behind. And the expansion is going to be called Titans of the First Aid, the Rise of the Old Gods. While it is totally connected in story, is the name of the campaign book.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah, we're if you read through all the little comic books, the chapter Conan level of fantasy for level. So yeah, when we designed the expansion, we took a lot of feedback from people as well as a lot of the ideas that we had. And of course, one thing people always want to see is more variety. So we have brought in addition to factors, we brought in mercenaries. You can see one right here. This is a little token. All that says is when you go to a sea tower and explore it, a mercenary card will you'll be able to hire that. It doesn't take an action or anything. You just need to pay. And you can put some of these cards in here. They also have little minis. They're not quite finished prototypes. But when you buy one, you just put it in with your army, and then you take that card into your hand. Count as cards and you have. And they all have special powers. They all have a unique standee. Something fast, something. Um, and you can also see that some of them have some special traits of Sean and the Vicar Butcher both have a golden.
Okay. And then
So we have 13 mercenaries.
one question on the mercenaries actually. So once you hire them, do they count as one of your units for your unit limit, or does it allow you to have extra units on the tile?
But we still keep the same 5 unit limit, unless you're the one Kuma. We might have, believe it or not, but it was a little bit overpowering.
Okay.
Question, so we had to scale back a few things. Like, there's been a few different variants of these guys. Yeah, and they count as one of your units until they're destroyed. Yes, if for them can't really pick them out, you the other sea pirates actually have a special relationship. Do you want to see the dice that come with the merc?
Yeah, let's take a look at the new dice.
Okay. Yeah, we have bronze, we have iron, and we have. So starting with bronze, okay, there's 3 blanks, which makes it kind of a risky die similar to the white die. Every it's a couple. You can see right here, this one has a skull and a star. The star is a new symbol. You can use the star as a skull if you want to damage a field. Bolts. And sometimes you can lock some of them. Fine. Then you have the iron stars, and then a couple of fields here on this base was these papers right here. And only one blank, so it's a very strong.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the silver and the gold look, especially the gold, looks really strong up here.
Gold is basically the twin of the black. Um, for size with one symbol, but the gold die has a bunch of whereas then it has the super sweet triple. Um, you do as much damage with the gold die, but you can do a lot of other
Hmm.
or stuff part of it. So So those are nice. And there's also a couple little surprise hordes and legions we've been working, as well as one of the new factions. Before we get there, let's another really these new druid. Um, Lots of folks have just recently got the campaign.
Right.
You can see these druids here all have new art on them because we really wanted to emphasize the wonderful, trippy world of this fact of the druids. And anyone who just got the blessings, the you you can see it does its second thing now. In addition to its talent,
Okay.
and ether is going to be a lovely little.
Yeah. So it looks like basically if you're at least according to this card, like if Chaos has more victory points than all players, you place an ether here. So does this work as kind of a little bit of a catch up mechanism?
Ether can be used to re-roll one of your rolls before you touch any of your other cards or do anything funky. You just say, "Hey, I want to spend an ether," and it's a shared resource.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So basically, you're going to get this ether, and you can either accumulate it, or when you have a really bad roll, any player can use that to hopefully
Exactly. Because a lot of
improve
people
their
said,
dice.
"Ooh, it's too rough at the beginning," and usually druids will generate two ether for you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think that'll help the start of the game because we've noticed that in some of our playthroughs, if we get behind at the beginning, it is hard to overcome some bad luck on the rolls.
Yeah, yeah. If chaos is allowed to run around, and if you just get your army wiped out completely and you're not playing the pro, very disheartening. The ether should hopefully help with that.
Great. So what
Maybe
other
some
changes
tabletop.
or new stuff is there in the expansion?
So we have the mercenaries, we have the new dice, we have the new druids, we have something called Banes on top of the different boards. Huh. Nice. I'll just put these onto the floor. So people want the game to be easier sometimes. People also want the game to be harder sometimes. So we added these tokens, which are called Banes, and there's 13 unique ones. See it right here. Those games.
The dice came back. We got Nether Sea Ambush. Draw one Bane, then discard this Bane and place this unit on its target. Wow. This unit was destroyed. Place 3 threat at the capital instead, and discard this Bane. Wow. So these can make it these guys quite a lot more powerful.
Yeah, it's for people that want the game to be harder, and it definitely makes them harder, and also provides more variability. It's you have if you add one more layer to that, suddenly the
Hellcats +1 skull and +1 defense in the first flash round. We got for archery, you get +2 defense. Winds of Rot. This unit's enemy cannot use shields. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So this is this is going to really up the difficulty for people that want that.
and yeah, you don't get any extra victory points or anything. You just have to fight harder guys, and
Wow.
it's quite fun. And then the last thing, of course, the new factions. Did I start off by showing you how the Titans work?
Yeah. Let's take a look at
Yeah,
Titans.
there's some right here. Okay, there's knights here still here. Look at that. Huh. Good
Got it.
policies under the void. Um, bring out some Titans here. So the Titans are actually old gods themselves, but they're still so connected to Zul that we physically incarnated. You can basically run around and play a horde. Come take a look here at
Wow.
his Father of Thunder's card.
Okay, yeah. So he's got a bunch of attack dice. He's got the same sort of threat level tracker. It looks like across the
Exactly.
board.
Yeah, and he's a big bruiser in hand-to-hand combat, and then the Mother of Night, his rival, is sneakier.
So she's got, yeah, I guess maybe a little bit less combat dice.
But she has a different set of feats.
Yeah, but she
You
get
see, they both have 5 attributes instead of 4.
mm,
They don't actually have any attribute increases in their. They just have 10 feats. So they do all kinds of magical god stuff. They also interact directly with the Banes. So if you're playing with the Banes, these guys can snap them off the back. And if you don't want to play with the Banes, you can.
okay. And it looks like their actions are drastically different here because you're not able to recruit any units.
They are their own unit. Yeah. If you're at 0 threat, you are just a hero. If you have 1 to 6 threat, you are a hero, or you are also a haven. So unless they get real beat up, creating havens, you get destroyed. Yes, the Empire, yes, it's high victory points.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, you want to. I guess
Yeah,
you want to avoid getting these guys destroyed, even though they come back automatically.
you can see they have different actions. They've got move and trade and marketing, but now they have something called devour, which is similar to building a haven, except you eat the hex that you're on. Put it right here on your board. And the more hexes you eat, the more victory points you get on the storyline.
Oh, okay.
They have kind of a lore, which because they're gods, they can explore at a distance, and wild and um, and this lets them explore the hexes around. They have how they regain salt.
Okay, so you can consume uh 2 resources or 1 victory point to gain 1 threat.
And it all costs 1 AP, no matter how high.
Okay. Okay, so that's kind of like recruiting units, but you can actually do it during your turn.
Exactly. Sometimes you want to finesse it and sneak around is just the sort of
Interesting.
you want
And
to
I
also
guess,
end your turn as a haven if you can, so you get the.
and then for the Titans, do you still have like a starting haven, or do you just kind of move around?
You have no havens at all. It's just
Okay,
you. You're a
just you.
god. You
Okay.
end your turn with threat on a X that has resource generation. You act just like a haven. Resources and victory points, and you make 2 victory points in scoring.
Okay. Oh, if your heroes a haven gave the resources shown. Interesting.
So yeah, they just have 1 standee. They're pretty easy to play in that regard. Territory control. They're just.
Interesting.
Shall I show you the next set of guys in the expansion?
Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at them.
The other guys we have are the pirates. Pirates. Swashbuckler. They have a special relationship with the Mercenaries. The first thing you'll notice is they don't have havens either. They have 8 ships. These are mobile havens. Using the sail action, move around.
Yeah. So sail up to 3 times, move 1 blade ship to any adjacent uh support ice waste hacks with a curse or hacks with a curse with no enemy units. Okay.
So you have mobile havens all of a sudden, and you can only go on ice wastes. And then their unit selection is actually quite limited. You can see they have 4 raiders and 2 shark skulls. We are extremely proud of shark skull.
Wow. So so with the sail action, when you move your blade ship, uh, do the units come with it?
It's actually an even better rule. There's something called the wave. Before you take your actions, you may move any of your units to adjacent blade ships. So if you make a little bridge of ships, you can just zap them along.
Ah, cool. So these guys are super mobile.
Super mobile, and they actually don't really interact with the inside of the map that much. They love the outside.
Hmm.
If side of things. They play like pirates. They don't necessarily interact with the other players in sea towers, of course. Uh, their own special hex here, the undernest, which is not our that's not our art, standard art. Whoever's Japanese. Um,
When place one mercenary token here. So did that mean that they start with a mercenary already recruited, or do they still have to pay to recruit it?
they do. They start with 1 mercenary in their roster, and when the mercenary is destroyed, they can rebuild it, card the card. They
Oh,
get the
okay.
feat that lets them place the undernest. They can get their mercenary, and of course, anytime they get the sea powers, they can hire. Even in a 2-player game, you could end up with 4 mercenaries.
Oh, interesting.
More than one. Sure do like to try. Um, yeah, and otherwise, their set of actions is basically the same. Queen is their queen, and she can bring mercenaries back from the graveyard. She can even use the gambler. He has dice manipulation. He can pull a die out of one of his rings, save it for later.
Oh, nice. Cool.
And that's what you get in the box. Titans of the first stage expansion. You get 2 new factions. You get 26 Banes, and they're going to come with their own bag for the Empire, the 800 bag, Chaos.
And then uh,
Your tokens.
I assume this tabletop simulator mod will be available with with the campaign launch, or are you planning on having it available before?
Yeah, we want everyone who wants to get their hands on playing the game, a chance to do it. Um, and if there's somebody out there that would really like to get the game but can't get the game, then to play it on TTS. We had